Hi, everybody. I'm Christine Schiavone, and our show is Spiritual Exploration. I'll be all right. Say that 10 times fast, right? Anyway, tonight we're going to talk about astral travel. I have always have been fascinated by the subject, and tonight, here with me again, is a very special guest, George Casazza. And we are going to talk about astral travel, which he does teach you how to do it. So I would like to, I have a lot of questions, and I hopefully you'll find this show very interesting, as I'm sure I will. Hey, George, how you doing? Nice to have you back.
Good, thank you. It's good to be here.
And before we go on, I want to congratulate you. George has become a groom, I guess you might say. He got married in last December on 12/12.
12 at 12, yes.
12 noon?
Yes.
Okay.
It wasn't midnight.
Okay. Anyway, and he married a very, very lovely girl. And I know her, and I wish them both the best of luck, and the best of happiness always.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Anyway, though, so I would like to start talking about, first of all, tell us what is astral travel or astral projection?
Astral traveling, out-of-body experience, is when your energetic body separates from your physical body, and you're able to go off and do many things.
Now, your energetic body, meaning your soul, your spirit?
On one level, yes.
On one level.
There's infinite levels, so yes, for the purposes of this, yes.
Okay. Now, you said you're able to go and do many things, such as?
Time travel, going to past lives, what I like to do when I astral travel is heal. So I go off and I heal others. And I teach my students to astral travel as well to do healing work.
Oh, that's nice. Now, did the recipient of the healing know that this is going on?
Not all the time, but I have people that haven't known what I've done in the past see me at the foot of their bed or on the side of their bed, my astral body, giving them beautiful, pure love, white light healing energy, and they've reported back to me and said, oh, I had a dream, or I saw you last night, I was half awake, half asleep, and but they were healed.
Oh, all right. So then some people are kind of aware of what's going on.
Yes. People do report, and people that I've never met in the physical, but I've seen them astrally. I'm on automatic program. I'm on an automatic pilot. I go, when I leave my body, if I'm not going anywhere specific, I go where I'm needed. And a lot of times when I'm out doing healing work, someone will pop up that needs to be healed.
Pop up in what way?
Either I have to show up either I show up at where they live, or sometimes I show up in the middle of the afternoon wherever they are, if I'm out doing my healing work in the middle of the afternoon, wherever they are. And sometimes it's on the astral plane, their energy will appear and they need help, and then I heal it.
Now, you are quite aware of all of this, correct?
Yes.
But is the person who's receiving the healing necessarily aware of what's happening, or?
Not all the time.
Not all the time.
But the healing takes place.
Right, right.
And a lot of healing modalities, they teach to not do what I do, where they say that you have to ask the permission of the person to heal.
Yeah, that's what I was told about Reiki, yes.
And that's unfortunate, because a lot of times if you do ask someone, if you notice that someone needs something, or it comes to your awareness that someone does need healing, and you go and you ask, would you mind if I energetically heal you? Do you mind if I give you healing energy? Most of the people around will say, okay, yeah, sure, do it, and they look at you like you're crazy, and then to no fault of their own, they put up their blocks. So it frightens them, so they have their subconscious mind will block any type of healing that you'll send. So I believe just go and do the healing work. You don't have to know what's wrong with the person. You don't have to know what the ailments are, but you can go and heal it. And if they're not going to accept it, they're not going to accept it on a soul level, on a subconscious level. If they need to experience what they're experiencing for a lesson, perhaps, they're not going to accept it.
Mm-hmm.
And if someone's not going to accept it, or let's say someone is, dying of an ailment, and maybe they came into this world, they chose to leave in that manner.
Mm-hmm.
That does not mean that they have to leave in a horrible way, no matter how serious the ailment is. So I still teach to give them the healing energy with strength, courage, confidence, joy, happiness, to learn their lessons, also give a lot of forgiveness at the same time that you're giving them that energy.
Who gives the forgiveness?
You do, we do.
The person that's healing.
Yes.
I see. I see. So, so now you mainly do healing, and when you come back to your body, you wake up refreshed and everything. Not like
Yes,
you've been out,
yes.
working all night.
No, time is relative. So, yeah, you can be out just for a split second, but it could be a lifetime.
Yeah, yeah. In
So.
other words, it could seem a lot longer, huh? So, okay. So now, when I first heard about it, well, I was very young, and I've looked into books about it and stuff, but I was always very afraid to let it happen because I was afraid that I wouldn't be able to tell the difference between that I'm having an astral experience or that I'm deceased.
Oh.
You know? So, I mean, can you tell the difference when you're doing it? You say, I'm not dead, I'm just having an astral projection.
Absolutely. Well, most people do astral travel when they're sleeping. They do leave their bodies. Most people aren't consciously aware of it. I do teach people to be consciously aware of their out-of-body experiences and their astral journeys. But no, you're not dead.
Right,
And you know the difference.
And you know the difference.
Yes, yes.
I see. Because I mean, now sometimes spirit comes from people who don't know that they're dead.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but if you're just astral traveling, you know it.
Yes, yes.
I see. Well, that's good. That's a good thing. So when somebody is doing this, then they could actually go, let's say, visit people in other countries, other states, and
Yes.
and be able to tell them what they were talking about, or what.
Yes, but now I don't teach people to do that, and
Because
I
that would
want.
be snooping.
Yes, yes. So I don't go and invade someone's privacy.
Right.
And by the way, let's say one person knows how to astral travel and they don't have the most positive of intentions, they won't make it to that person, like to spy on someone, because that person's energy, that person's soul, that person's spirit guides will block that from coming through.
Even if the person is trying to do this with, let's say, good reason.
Well, that's relative as well.
Yeah,
I mean,
depends on what their good
privacy
reason is.
you will always have that privacy. So someone can't just come in and say, "Hey," while you're taking a shower.
Okay. Yeah.
Is that what you're concerned about?
Well, no, not that.
Okay.
I'm not concerned
Okay.
about people watching me take a shower. but I was just, but you could be concerned about people, coming and hearing you saying something that you don't want to be public knowledge
It won't
or
happen.
something.
It won't
That
happen.
doesn't
No.
happen.
You're always protected. And then you said you had some sort of fear about leaving your body.
Right.
There's nothing to be afraid of.
Yeah.
And well, there are some negative things, but I do not want to discuss it because I don't want to put any focus or energy on it.
Right.
Because when I teach my students to do it, they know that they're always protected by the beautiful, pure love, white light energy from the source of all creation, God, the universe. Light is stronger than darkness.
Yes.
So you're always protected. And then some people have a fear or misconception that, if you're out astral traveling and someone comes in and moves your body, you're not going to be able to find it.
Oh, no.
That's not the case. That could never, ever happen. You always have an awareness of where your physical body is.
Uh-huh.
Anytime you want to go back into your physical body, it's like this.
Uh-huh.
So.
Well, I read, early on, I did read some books on the subject, and in one of the books, I read that there is some kind of a golden cord that is attached from our crown to the astral body, and that we can travel very far, but make sure you don't stretch that cord so far that it snaps.
Well, one, there are no limitations.
Uh-huh.
There is no distance that could ever snap that cord.
You can go out
There's
to other
silver cords.
galaxies.
You can go anywhere you want, and we do. And you mentioned the gold cord, and then some people have the silver cord. I've been doing astral traveling since I'm a child, and I've never once seen the cord.
Really?
Never once.
I see.
And even if you had a cord, and it could never snap. Anytime you want to go back into your body, it's like this.
Really?
Anytime there's a danger of any kind, you'll be right back in your body.
In other words, like if somebody, all of a sudden there's a burglar in your house or something like that,
Yes.
you'll be right back there so that you can take care of yourself.
Correct.
I
Correct.
see. So, which means then that you could travel to other galaxies, see if there's life on other planets, things like
Yes.
that.
Yes.
Have you done that?
Yes.
And is there?
Yes.
Okay.
The simple answers.
Yes.
But we don't want to get into all of that right now, do we?
No, no,
Okay.
no. Well, it's just a curious question, you know. So,
I think I might have to be careful about how much I can share with you because I don't want to be taken away in a straitjacket.
oh, well, I don't think
Okay.
that's going to happen. Don't worry.
So are you saying that your audience is all crazy?
No, I'm saying
Okay.
that we're all sane here, okay?
Okay, good.
So now tell me, like there are times when I'm sleeping and
Mhm.
all of a sudden my body jolts or I sit up.
Okay.
Does that have anything to do with the spirit returning to the body or anything like that?
Possibly, yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Because sometimes I wonder if that was, you know, if I've been somewhere and now I'm back, but I can't remember where I've been or what I've done or who I've seen or what anything.
Well, that's absolutely possible, yes.
Yeah, so that's kind of the way it happens. So what?
Well, you
but-
can change it, though. You can become consciously aware of where you go, and you can guide yourself to go to certain places or to accomplish certain goals
and you
and remember everything that you experienced.
Yeah, well, that's the one thing.
And
I
that's
don't-
one of
never
the things that
remember
I enjoy
anything.
teaching.
There are times, though, I think I can remember different things. Like one time I really felt it was very real that I was traveling all over the city one night, just all over. And I woke up exhausted as if I had really traveled all over the city the night before. And it felt so real, it really did. And I kind of remember, just don't remember seeing anybody, I just remember going all over the place.
Did you go to any clubs?
Not that I can recall, though. I don't. I might have. Who knows? I was exhausted. Maybe I did. Maybe I had a few drinks too. Well, nobody can see you.
Well, that's not true as well.
Really? Go ahead.
Well, like I said before, people have seen me at the foot of their bed, on the side of their bed, show up on their porch and give them energy. And a lot of times they do call me to do that, people that do know what I do, and they do need that extra boost of energy or some sort of healing or guidance or extra strength, and I will show up and they do see me. And I know that I record a lot of it so they know, there's a correlation. Hey, I went to do this. I don't need the confirmation because I do it all the time. I know what I'm doing is real and it works, and my students, what they're doing is real and it works, but I do get confirmation all the time.
Yeah. So now you teach this in workshops. I mean,
Yes.
you do quite a few different types of workshops.
Yes.
I know I attended one on hypnosis, and it was very good. It was excellent. And you do workshops on astral
Yes.
travel.
Yes.
And during those workshops, what do you teach people?
Okay, well, one of the workshops that I do is the most important workshop, and that is the 2-day healing workshop and Evolve Your Soul training. In that workshop, I teach you self-hypnosis. I also teach you how to connect to source and channel that energy through yourself to do remote healing. It's very powerful, and basically on the first day, we get you out of your own way so you can accomplish anything and everything you need to accomplish. People that have come to the workshop that have needed glasses their whole lives, by the end of the first day, they don't need glasses anymore. Vision is corrected, hearing is corrected. I've had people come with lifelong suffering, lifelong with asthma, allergies, diabetes. After the first day, gone, and it never comes back. So I like to get people out of their own way, teach them how to heal themselves and then heal others. And it's very powerful. I really enjoy doing it. And that 2-day workshop is a beautiful springboard to everything else, like seeing auras, astral traveling, you name it.
Now, this is the astral travel workshop that you're referring to.
No, I'm referring to the 2-day healing workshop and Evolve Your Soul training.
Oh, I see.
I actually have a couple of them coming up in November
Oh, yeah?
in New York City,
And where are
right
they?
over the ferry.
Where, yeah.
in
Well,
the
tell us
financial
about
district.
that. In the financial district,
Yes.
you're in November. You said
November 3rd and 10th, and the other one is November 9th and 16th. Saturday and Saturday, Sunday and Sunday.
So in other words, like Saturday, you'll have,
The first day.
and then the following
next-
Saturday will be
yes.
the second, and then Sunday will be the first day, and the following Sunday will be the second
Yes.
of the 2 workshops. You kind of
Yeah, it's the same workshop.
back
but
to back,
yes.
just like that, right?
Some people can't make it on a Sunday. Some people can't make it on a Saturday.
Right. And now, exactly where in the city do you do this? Right off the ferry, you said?
Yes,
For the
yes.
benefit of the people from
Yes.
Staten Island.
Yes, because I love Staten Island.
Yeah, well,
I was raised in Staten
that's
Island.
right. So I'm glad to hear you love the place. I do. I know that.
I'm officially going to go on record right now and say that Staten Island people are the best people on the planet.
Oh, see that?
Yes. That's on record, by the way.
I know. Well, it's on tape, that's for sure. And on DVD, too. Anyway, though, so, all right, so now in the financial district, meaning exactly where? Like on Broadway or?
It's on Exchange Place.
Oh,
40
that's,
Exchange
so
Place,
you would just
27
walk
million.
up Broadway from the ferry.
Yeah, yeah.
And
It's right around the block, or right up the block, actually, from the stock exchange.
so just a
right there.
couple of blocks from the ferry,
No,
basically.
Yeah, a couple blocks. That's it.
Really? Okay. Well, you'll have to let me know, email me about
Yes,
these things.
I will.
In the meantime, though, well, that's good that you're doing that, because I'm sure there'll be quite a few people from Staten Island that will be interested. How would people get in touch with you to join these workshops?
Well, you can call me. My cell phone number is 646-606-9935. And my email address is gc@adepthealer.com. That's ADEPTHEALER.com.
So gc@adepthealer.com.
Yes.
Okay, and the phone number again, 646?
646-606-9935.
Okay, so if anybody's interested in a workshop with George, feel free to contact him, because, as I said, I did attend the hypnosis workshop, and I felt like I really went in deep, and with the hypnosis, you are always conscious.
Yeah, you're aware at all times.
You know, you can't make somebody, go around clucking like a duck or something
Well,
like that.
if they want to cluck
If
like
they
a
want
duck,
to,
then
yes, but if
it's
they
very
normally
easy to make them
wouldn't.
do that.
If they normally wouldn't want to get up in front of people and act like a duck or a chicken or something,
They're not gonna do
they're
it.
not going to do it.
That is correct.
Right.
You're
so-
always in complete control of what you will or will not do
Right.
at all times.
and always conscious of what's going
Yes.
on around you.
Your awareness, all your senses are heightened in hypnosis. When you're in hypnosis, you can actually hear conversations going on in 3 rooms down the hall, or in the building next door sometimes. So
Yeah.
all your senses are heightened.
Yeah. Well, when people, when they are, doing this astral travel, I imagine they can walk in on conversations and hear people talking too.
Yes, but most people that are doing the astral traveling that are aware, consciously aware of what they're doing, if they happen to walk in on a conversation, especially if it's a private conversation, they know to leave. They know
Right.
not to be there.
Right.
I know that if I astrally walked in on something that was private, I'm not going to stay there. I'm going to remove myself. Just like I wouldn't want anyone to invade my privacy, I would never invade someone else's privacy.
Right. No, of course, this is just the right thing
It's
to
always
do.
the golden rule.
But if somebody chose, they say it was just a light and airy conversation going on, and somebody chose to stick around and say, could they do that?
Let me
Free
ask
will?
you, is this what you want to do?
No.
Do you want to go listen
No,
to
it's not.
conversations?
Hey, look, if I walked in and somebody's having, a bunch of girls are talking and they're talking about, let's say, shoes or something. Oh, this is interesting. Let me see what they have to say about
Oh.
it. Whatever. I mean, not necessarily something personal.
Well, it all depends.
But-
It's up to the individuals. It's also up to the people that are physically in that area that you just, came upon. So it's all variables, and it all depends.
Now, does everybody who is able to astral travel able to heal?
Everyone has that ability, but you have to unlock it sometimes. It depends. I mean, each one of us has the ability to do so much. Most people only use maybe like 1 to 5% of
Their brain?
abilities, just
Yeah.
abilities. Your mind is so very powerful. I mean, we are absolute creators. We can create, we can materialize things out of thin air, but most people unfortunately don't believe that they can, so guess what? It's not going to happen.
So in other words, we do have the ability to say, well, I think I'd like a grand piano in that corner over there. You can't, and so technically,
On one level, yes, we can do that. If you're only using 1% of your ability, I mean, and we do a lot as human beings, there's so much more that can be done. We are absolute creators.
well, they say that we only use a very small percentage of our brains.
Yeah.
And if we were using even a few percent more, we would be dangerous.
Well, I guess most people, yes, would be dangerous.
Most people would.
At right now, at their level of awareness or consciousness.
Yeah, well, maybe there is a reason in creation why we are so limited, you know?
But again, the only limitations you have are the ones you place on yourself.
So in other words, if you believe you're capable of something, then you are.
Yes. But I also, you add in the next couple of statements. If you believe it, if you expect it, but the most important thing is to know. When you know something with absolute certainty, it's like this. So you can believe that you're going to be healed. Will you be healed? Yes. It may take time, but if you believe it, it will happen. If you expect it to happen, that's even more powerful. But if you know with absolute certainty that you are going to be healed, you're going to be healed. If you know with absolute certainty that you are healed already, that you have the healing already, it's that much quicker.
It's like calling upon what is not as if it is.
Say that again?
Calling upon what is not as if it is. In other words, you're saying that a person can heal and believe and know that they are healed, but at the moment they're really not. Say a person has cancer.
Yes.
You know, and they are really want a healing, really want to get rid of this disease and live a healthy life and all that kind of stuff. And they will call upon what is not. What is not is that they are well, as if it is.
I wouldn't phrase it with the not, because that's a negative and you're saying that you don't have it. If you're saying call upon what is not, you're calling upon something that you don't have. So that's not knowing that you have it already. So there's a big difference. That is a block that will, put the brakes on that healing, actually. So and words do have power. So by calling upon the not that you don't have, I would suggest not to use that expression.
I see.
Now, as far as when you mentioned cancer and everything, all kinds of ailments and diseases, yes, every single person can be healed. Every single person can be healed instantly. Unfortunately, sometimes a person they're holding on to negative thought patterns, anger, fear, guilt, shame. And when you hold on to those feelings, and some people aren't consciously aware that they're holding on to those feelings and those emotions, but on the inside, their subconscious mind, holding on to those feelings, those negative thought patterns and anger and guilt, that creates cancer, that creates disease. So a lot of times, even when you're sending healing energy, even if they're accepting it, and sometimes they'll accept it so well that they do heal that one thing, but then something else will pop up, because they still haven't learned their lesson, or they're still holding on to that anger or that guilt, shame, whatever it is.
And something has to come out of that negative emotion.
Yes, you have to. And one of our biggest healing tools is forgiveness. And the biggest one is forgiveness of self.
Yeah, that's true. Sometimes it's harder to forgive yourself than anybody else. So we do have to learn to forgive ourselves and
not just learn, I mean, do it.
Do it, yeah.
And that's one of the things I do in my hypnosis sessions is give forgiveness. And in a deep state of hypnosis, have the client forgive themselves. And healing takes place like this.
Yeah. Well, when they forgive themselves for different things, I guess, that they've brought upon themselves.
And
and
things that they've done to others.
Yeah.
Sometimes people hold on to things that they regret, they resent, and sometimes it's the littlest, tiniest things that some people may think that it's funny, but to them, it's eating them up on the inside.
Yeah.
And then, I wanted to mention, because we're talking about forgiveness right now. In October, I'll be at the New Life Expo in Manhattan at the Hotel New Yorker, and I'm doing a workshop on eliminating all negative karma. And I'm not teaching you how to do it. I'm teaching you how to do it, but you're going to do it right then and there. And every single person that goes to that workshop wipe away all negative karma, all past lives, you name it, it's gone. I'm
Really?
bringing everyone in front of the council on the other side, all karmic contracts, all karmic debt, ripped up, forgiven, done, all debts are paid. Because, by the way, as human beings, whether you're 15, 25, 85 years old, you've had stuff. You've dealt with this life.
Mm-hmm.
We've had hardships. We've had loss. You name it, we've experienced the negative. Many people have suffered. I mean, all people basically have suffered.
In one way or another.
Yes. And guess what? Your debt is paid. You've suffered enough. So one of the goals that I have is anyone that comes into my path, there is no reason to suffer with anything anymore ever again, regardless of your age. When you come into my path, there's no reason to suffer. Forgive yourself. Your debt is clear.
So when people walk out of that workshop that you're just mentioning, everything is clear, meaning they don't owe anything
Yes.
to anybody or anything or anywhere and anytime.
Correct.
Now, you're talking about past lives, and that's another workshop that you do as well, right?
Yes.
You go into past lives and help people because sometimes our problems in this life may revert back to a past life.
Correct. So
Like,
it may come from a past life.
For instance, if you're, if you're overweight, it might be because you had an eating problem in a past life, or you were starving in a past life.
It's possible, yes, absolutely.
And that's what brings on this weight problem that could be happening here in this life.
Absolutely.
So so people, they don't, they get rid of all of this stuff. And so, in other words, like, say a person did have that problem, and so they go to this workshop and they find out, well, it all happened in a past life, and they can let it go and possibly then slim down and become a normal weight.
Not possibly. It is the case.
Yeah.
That's the reality, yes. And it's like this.
Yeah.
And getting back to what you said, well, when people come to the workshop that I'm doing in October at the New Life Expo, I'll give you an example of one gentleman. He came to the workshop, and he had told me afterwards, he automatically signed up for my 2-day workshop after this experience. He was suffering with severe pain every single day, all day, for more than a decade. His description was that every morning when he awoke, it felt as though he was beaten with baseball bats all night long. Throughout the night, he woke up in severe pain. He came to that workshop. The next day was the first time in over a decade that he woke up with not a single trace of any type of pain, and he never had pain ever again from that morning going forward.
Wow.
And then he came to the 2-day workshop, and he had diabetes his whole life.
Yeah.
No more diabetes.
Now,
And that was a couple of years ago.
Which 2-day?
The 2-day
workshop?
healing workshop and Evolve Your Soul training, the one that I'm doing in November, right over the ferry.
So in other words, that is the one that the person was healed of the diabetes and
Yes.
and the pain.
The pain was just the workshop that I did at the New Life Expo. It's only a 3-hour workshop. Getting rid of any negative karma.
Right. Oh, I see. So and when we have negative karma, that means that we call upon